we focus on the basics right out the gates. The basics are your wake up times, your workouts, and your nutrition. Because if you're not doing that, you can't move forward. That boulder's in the way. And I don't care who you are feeling whisperings of, hey, get your health together. That's the thing. Like, you're not going to get more information until you deal with that. We want to start with that because that's guaranteed what you're supposed to do. And then 2, we want to help guys find that one thing, the real one thing.
Hey guys, welcome to the Certain Success Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Fagioli, and today's interview is with Kyle Carnohan. This guy is a freak. He's an absolute ball of energy. Just love the guy. Just met him a couple weeks ago. We had an amazing experience together at an event in Dallas, but he's running a group called Superhuman Fathers. He's leading men to a more powerful life through physical fitness, business coaching, spirituality, the whole package. And not all of them are even fathers. He's got some young men in that group who are just like, man, I want to get on board with the discipline and the organization that he's bringing to things. And his business is just absolutely blowing up while he's following Jesus. And it's a story that I had to bring to all of you here at the Certain Success Podcast. So enjoy my conversation with Kyle Carnohan. Hey guys, welcome back to the Certain Success Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Fagioli, and today I've got a new buddy. We just met in Dallas. I was just blown away by this guy's energy and what he's working on and what his life represents. And just like, I got to get this guy on the Certain Success Podcast. So let's welcome Kyle Carnohan. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thank you. Amidst the chaos of life and sick kids and school starting and trying to keep the gym time going in the mornings and everything, man, we're right here. We made it,
dude. Well, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Certain Success audience is entrepreneurs, business owners. We talk about the intersection of business and faith. So, very much a faith conversation. I want to hear, I heard this much of your faith story. I want to hear a little bit about your faith story, but tell us who you are, man.
Yeah, I'm Kyle Carnohan, and currently I guess I would say I'm the founder of Superhuman Fathers, which is a men's group that started as fitness. And man, as we know, the physical body and the health bleeds over in every other aspect, family, spirituality, and your ability to produce. And we're seeing that the effects of that so drastically and clearly that we started to lean into that and started to get guys to have massive transformations in every aspect of life. So recently a firefighter paramedic for the last 15 years, just left that job recently. Skateboarder, musician, love jiu-jitsu, martial arts, surfing, grew up punk rock 90s in North County, San Diego. 5 kids, ranging from 17 to 3, married 20 years. And we are doing it all. Like my whole goal in life is to be the example of what's possible. Like a strong, lean physical body, an amazing on-fire marriage, leading your children by example, and producing at a high level at the same time is it, having it all.
Is that it? That's all you got?
That's it, man. So yeah, put a fork in it.
Dude,
we're done.
I love it, man. I loved your energy when I met you. And tell me more about Superhuman Fathers. You said you were a fireman, and you recently, I think, if I understand it correctly, you were able to leave that behind because you're crushing it with Superhuman Fathers.
Yeah.
So tell me what's going on in that group.
Yeah. So I started working with a guy named Wes Watson as a coach, who I used to skate with him when we were kids. He went to prison for 10 years, got out of prison, and then I started seeing his transformations for guys. And I was in shape and lean, but he was getting guys that were like really out of shape and in better shape than me. And I was like, bro, hook a guy up, man. I'm in. Like, show me your stuff. And he just was super aggressive, like almost more aggressive than I thought you could be. And what I found was with him, there was just a little click that I needed to go to that I was right there and I wanted to, but I almost didn't have permission. So like when I got around a guy like him, like he gave me permission to go full psycho on my authentic self, you know? And like I felt so free to be like, wait, I can just be me. And like I don't worry about what anybody thinks anymore. I just
Mhm.
be me. And he's like, you must. And I was like, oh, that feels good. And so I just went all in on that and and just became crazy obsessed me with the things I was obsessed with, which turns out most men are obsessed with it as well. Family, business, physical being, connection to God. Like these are the things I'm obsessed with, which I was holding myself back because the most of the world is so damn complacent that you think you can't go that hard or you're like a weirdo. I realized like you want to truly be happy in this world, you better be a weirdo, you know?
That's it, man. The freaks.
So that's it. That was the fire that I got. And immediately I was like, I need to learn business. Like I need to learn business. Like, why would I not do that? Like I was able to get my physical body here. I have an amazing wife and kids. I'm a fireman. Like if I can like go through all that, like why couldn't I build a big business? And so I hired some coaches. I started a supplement company. I started Superhuman Fathers as an Instagram to hold myself accountable because my stress now was going up. Because now I added business on top of the fire job with the kids and the wife and the physical fitness. I was like, whoa, this is pressure. I was like, and that was part of just my training. And so now I'm like going into this Instagram and I'm sharing my life and I'm sharing my weaknesses with the world. When I come home from work and I'm like so angry and irritated and apathetic and dead inside from not sleeping for 3 days and, maybe scraping somebody off the ground right before I got home, and I'm like, how do I deal with this juggle of like now being a epic father and husband with this plus building the business. I was like, this is too much. And I realized these are just stories I tell myself. And I thought I hit burnout a couple times and I decided that it wasn't real. And I just kept going and I just skipped it. I was like, oh, that was a lie. There was no burnout. That was a story I was telling myself because I was unwilling to sit in the fire. But when I changed my story and was like, no, I can sit in this all day. I can burn in this. I'll be fine. In fact, this is the medicine I need to become the man that I need to become. This is no different than doing an extra rep in the squat rack when I'm done and it hurts. So I'm going to sit in this pain and let's see what happens. And what did it do? Exploded my life because
Mm.
most people are just not willing to sit in the suffering like that.
Dude. Oh, that's so it, man. And man, I wish I knew. I mean, you're a young man compared to me, and I wish I knew at your age what you just said. Because we spend most of our life just running from the pain, and if you could just sit in it, it changes everything. And I think most people never figure that out. But to figure it out at your age, and for you to be leading a bunch of people that are figuring that out, I mean, that is monster. So,
Yeah, I think that's the message, man. That's the message is like, hey, come sit in the suffering with us. And when guys are like they're like, man, I'm having a trouble with the drink. I was like, that's because you're afraid to suffer, my friend.
hmm.
And I'm like, come suffer with me. I'm in it right now. This is where the magic is. Then I get to show them my life. I get to show them my house and my family. I get to show them, like the growth of my business. I get to tell them, hey, man, listen, I was a fireman working 5 overtimes to pay the bills, and we pulled in $250,000 last month. So
Mm.
like I have the results that you desire, which means listen to me. I'm telling you, this is the road. And they go, okay, man, like you've proven it. I feel the fire from you. I like the words you're saying. I feel good around you. Let's make the move. And so my specialty is to get men to take action. I'm very good at that. Um, and then having them hold the line. The hard part is getting a guy to hold the line long term. And that's where I'm playing right now is this place where I can get a guy to change and I can get a guy to lose weight and I can get a guy to start a business and I can get a guy to be disciplined and like a lot of guys, they get to a certain point of battle fatigue and they start to loosen up and get complacent. And so the systems we're creating now are to provide men with a place where they can never slip back into their old ways.
Hmm. Man, so tell me about what's the main entry point, connection point? Is it Instagram or like how are you
Yeah,
building your business?
yeah. Instagram is like was the beginnings. Like people freaked out because I started with like 300 followers, and I think by the time I had 4,000 followers, I was already doing 100 grand a month. And people are like, how do you do that? And I was like, because I know how to speak to my people, and I'm very consistent, and I'm very very honest. Meaning I don't. You heard me speak on stage. Like it's like there's nothing. You're gonna get me. That's it. And if you hate me, so be it. But if you hate me, it means the guy next to you is just fell in love. So like it's polarizing because you are you. I'm not here to please anyone. I'm here to please God. That's it. That's it. And so anybody that comes up to me and is like, you should do this or you should do that, or you know, the Bible says this or the Bible says that, I'm like, thanks for your input. I'm directly connected.
Yeah, I
Like,
got it. I got a direct line.
yeah, I got a
Yeah.
direct line, man. And I believe that discipline, leveraging discipline, is the way to spiritually connect. And so when I see someone, especially when they're out of shape, and I know they can't control their drink or their food intake, and if they're doing that, I know they're jerking off too and looking at porn, and you're trying to tell me the spiritual secrets of the universe, maybe look in the mirror first and look at your life and see if it's someone that I want to be like before you start telling me the secrets of the universe, my friend. Um, I don't always say it right then and there, but if that person continues with me, we will have that conversation. Because people say don't judge. Well, I'm judging the information that I hear based upon the person that gives it to me.
Hmm. Man, everything you say just it resonates so much with me. I got a book coming out called Dirty Disciple, and I think you're getting the T-shirt, bro, because it's this thing, man. It's just like direct line to the Lord, and like it's what He's telling you, man. It's not what these other clowns are talking about, and all this half-ass stuff. It's the
Yep,
straight deal, and He wants you exactly the way you are. I mean, I'm gonna get on my soapbox,
love it.
but man, I love the way you bring it, man. I love your energy. Um, Man, so tell me, so how do people get involved? How do they? What's next on Superhuman Father? I guess you got to be a father to qualify, I guess.
Not
What's
actually not really. Like we actually have a lot of young kids that hit us up because they're like, anywhere from 17 to 25 that don't have kids. They're not even married. They just never had a dad. Like they don't have any father figure, and they're like, do you guys have dads over there? Like, because I need one. And I'm like, we got 700 of them, bro. Like, we'll prepare you for fatherhood, you know,
mm,
get your ass in here, and then we got a bunch of grandpas too,
yeah?
so
So
quite a
what? So,
range.
so what's the deal? Is it a monthly thing or like how do people get involved?
Yeah, they do. We do a membership for either the year. Right now, it's a year, 6 months, or 100 days. And as of today, there'll be massive restructuring. But as of today, it's 6,000 for the year, 3,500 for 6 months, or 2,000 for 100 days. And immediately we focus on the basics right out the gates. The basics are your wake up times, your workouts, and your nutrition. Because if you're not doing that, you can't move forward. That boulder's in the way. And I don't care who you are feeling whisperings of, hey, get your health together, get your health together. You're like, Lord, what should I do with my business? He's like, get your health together. And you're like, how do I fix my marriage? He's like, get your health together. And you're like, no, 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 it can't be that. Can't be that. More donuts, more donuts. Like, drinks, donuts, drinks, donuts. And it's like, that's the thing. Like, you're not going to get more information until you deal with that. Like, he's just gonna be like, well, I mean, that's it. Like, I gave you the answer to all of it. Is that? But a lot of people will sit in that for decades and then they'll die and they never actually made any progress because they never listened to that one thing. And so, for us, we want to start with that because that's guaranteed what you're supposed to do. And then two, we want to help guys find that one thing, like the real one thing. A lot of times it's drinking. A lot of times, like Like for some guys, it's freaking hiding Reese's peanut butter cups in the pantry. Some guys, it's porn. You know, sometimes it's a mix of everything. But we get it. We try to help our guys because we're so honest in this group that like I don't hold anything back. So like if I'm struggling with something, everybody knows. If I'm slipping on something, everybody knows. If I'm in a fight with my wife, everybody knows. So there's this place where it's like everyone knows that from the top to the bottom, we speak the truth here. And so I always wanted that. I wanted that in church. Couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. And so I created it here. I didn't know it was going to create here, but it did. And so so a lot of guys will just raise their hand in our roundtable Zoom calls and be like, "Hey, I'm ready to declare." I'm like, "Oh, okay, we'll take a deep breath and make sure you're ready." Because there's a standing joke that if you declare and you go back on your declaration, that we'll sneak in your house and kill you in your sleep. So, which, I mean, I, I don't think anyone's done that here, but it is kind of funny. We're like, don't like make this is a serious thing, dude. Don't mess with this. Like if you're ready to declare, do it. If you're not, then just wait till you're ready. But it turns into something that's pretty cool, and then everybody follows up with them, and they get to report every week on their declaration. You know, big levers. Like we're looking for the big movers. It was like one of my guys quit drinking. His big declaration for the year was he's going to quit drinking, and he's got a lot of other plans for the year in his business and in his physique and his spiritual connection, his family. And I'm like, hey, just so you know, like if all you did this year is stop drinking, it would be the most massive win. So just understand, like, don't pile too much on this year. Like focus on that one thing and then add a couple little details here. But if we could just hold the line this year, you'll make so much progress in every aspect of your life. You know, don't overdo it. Don't overwhelm yourself. Like this is it. You know, like if this guy in particular, he's already lost like 40 pounds. So like, if you keep off the alcohol, you will get ripped. Your business is going to flourish. Your marriage is going to get better. So it's like, let's focus on that one leverage point. You know.
Thank you so much for sharing all this, man. And so I guess it's superhumanfathers.com. Is that where they go?
Yeah, you can do that, or you can just DM me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, and then all over my content, my cell phone number's on there too. So, like my personal, I get calls on my personal cell phone number all the time from people that hate me.
You
Like,
got 700 members texting you.
yeah, those guys. But then I just put it out to the world. So like, I have guys. Like I got a call the other night at like 7:30 at night. This guy's like, he's all pissed. He's from what was he from North Carolina? He's like, you got to knock it off with this fatherhood bullshit. Trying to talk like you have to be all ripped to be a good dad. Like this is bullshit. I go, really? Like, why is that bullshit? Sounds like you're triggered. And he's like, well, listen, I've been trying that for a long time, and like you can't expect every father to do that. I go, sounds like you're getting bad advice, man, and it sounds like you're not part of a tribe. It sounds like you don't have the right coaching. And he's like, I go, do you have a coach? He's like, no. I go, you're trying to do it on your own. That's why it's not working. And he's like, I just think the way your message is just too harsh. I go, well, you're on the phone with me right now talking about it, right? Like, I don't really care if I hurt your feelings, bro. What I care about is you to change. That's all I care about. And you're talking to me right now, and I'm inviting you to change. So are you going to change, or are you going to keep bitching and moaning and making excuses? He's like, I really want to change. And I'm like, well, I'm right here, man. So sign him up, winning at life, getting what he didn't think was possible. And it's like, why do you think I talk so clearly on Instagram with my messages and I trigger people to get you to move? Like, it's funny. People come work with me and they're like, oh man, he's going to eat you alive. And it's actually the opposite. People come in, they're like, dude, Kyle's so mellow and loving and easy to work with. Like, I thought he'd be like a hard ass. It's like, no, the message needs to be hard to get you to move. And once you move and you're here, why would I beat you up? You need love. You need to be built up, man. Like, so, anyway.
Dude, you're the best, man. You made my day. Thanks for being on the Certain Success podcast, and we'll have you back here soon, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you.